Hello and welcome to our second vlog of Defending India. I'm Vishnu Som. This is a program, a vlog where we look at some of the most important security issues affecting India. We're looking at a remarkable new Indian drone today. We're also looking at the threat of China, whether it's a new stealth and mystery frigate, their new aircraft carrier. But as importantly, we are looking at international themes because those affect India. Russia's offensive in Ukraine, the ramifications of that, the technology being used, and how Ukraine is counterattacking. We'll be showing you some footage and images of that as well. But first up, let's talk about a landmark Indian drone breaking records. It's a huge move for the Indian aviation startup, the Bengaluru-based New Space Research, that's broken new records during test flights of its high-altitude pseudo satellite. These are called HAPS, H-A-P-S. What are they? Extremely lightweight, solar-powered drones that can fly at altitudes up to 65,000 feet for very long durations. New Space has now created a national flying endurance record of 27 hours non-stop on the 14th and 15th of this month over Chitradurga. Now, project developers at New Space had earlier told NDTV, in fact, we'd broken this story several years back of this being developed. That time they'd said that this platform will be ideal in exploiting intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities while using interchangeable payloads. In simple terms, a variety of pods on the drone will be able to beam still or moving images day or night through infrared or hyperspectral imagery. Hyperspectral images provide immensely more detail than normal cameras, and they acquire many more colors, more than just red, green and blue, which some cameras, most of them actually acquire. Now, here is a scenario. The drone will be able to fly at 65,000 feet over the town of Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh, remain in the air for no less than 3 weeks at a time. From this lofty perch in near-Earth orbit, the drone will be able to monitor Chinese military movements. For example, in the town of Frigate in Tibet, more than 200 kilometers away, 24 hours a day. It could, in effect, replace reconnaissance satellites, which need to expend their limited reserves of internal fuel if they are to be positioned over an area of interest to capture high-resolution imagery. Next up, let's talk a little bit about a new mystery frigate by China. China has been working on a very advanced stealth design of a frigate, a full stealth configuration that integrates its hull, its superstructure with a smooth and streamlined surface with no vertical or fractured elements. Images of this have just started appearing. It's got a lot of people by surprise. It's got very low radar cross-section. It's difficult to track. The ship also incorporates an integrated radio frequency system and a stealth cannon, marking a significant leap in the technological capabilities of Chinese surface naval vessels. It's got a pretty large helicopter takeoff and landing deck, indicating the capability to accommodate helicopters of the size of the Z-20. That's a major platform used by the Chinese Navy. Its high-temperature exhaust gases from the main engines are expelled from exhaust ports near the waterline at the stern or the back of the ship after they are cooled. That's a design choice aimed at further reducing its signature, its radar signature. The frigate represents a continuation of China's efforts to modernize its naval fleet and enhance its capabilities in maritime operations. The vessel's advanced stealth features make it a formidable addition to China's naval arsenal, capable of operating effectively in contested maritime environments. That's going to become a headache for India in the future when that platform is deployed. But what's already in the water, and being tested very aggressively is China's first super carrier. It's 80,000 tons. It's a warship called the Fujian. It's returned to port after completing its brief sea trial. The first will go on for a long time. The advanced aircraft carrier, it represents a significant milestone in China's military and naval capabilities. The Fujian is also called the Type 003. It's China's first indigenous aircraft carrier design, the first to utilize an integrated propulsion system and electromagnetic catapults, water electromagnetic catapults. These replace conventional steam-powered catapults. They're meant to be inducted for their reliability and their ability to accurately launch aircraft off the deck of the carrier. The US Navy, still considered the world's most technologically advanced, is the only other force that has deployed this technology. The Indian Navy currently operates 2 aircraft carriers, the Vikramaditya and Vikrant. The Indian Navy has wanted a larger, more capable aircraft carrier for more than a decade. only to be rebuffed by successive governments concerned about the exorbitant cost of development, manufacture and operation. Per some reports, a carrier in the class of the Fujian could cost India, in fact smaller than the Fujian, $7 billion. That's 56,000 crores to build. The cost of new build fighters on board could total a further 8 billion or 65,920 crore rupees. Moving away from China, let's talk about the situation in the north of Ukraine, where Russia has intensified its ground assaults in the Kharkiv region, launching attacks on new areas to expand the front and stretch Ukraine's forces. The situation in Kharkiv is described as being complex, dynamically changing, with Russian troops mounting assaults in various areas. The aim of the attacks might be to create a buffer zone to reduce Ukrainian attacks on Russian territory, or to launch a renewed assault on the city of Kharkiv itself. It's the second largest in Ukraine. Russia claims to have captured several villages. There's a significant escalation in this conflict. It's part of a larger Russian plan, which has also seen the deployment of military reinforcements by Ukraine to help repel these attacks. But Ukraine has also been counterattacking. They've intensified their attacks on Russian-occupied Crimea, targeting various military and infrastructure sites across the peninsula. In fact, one of the key targets has been the Belbek air base, which has been hit multiple times within a short period, indicating a significant effort to disrupt Russian military operations in the region. There have been naval drones, missiles, possibly even ballistic missiles, all of which have been used to demonstrate Ukraine's evolving capabilities to strike behind enemy lines. It's part of a broader action to weaken Russia's defenses and logistics in the south of Ukraine. We will be, on this vlog, over a period of time, be talking a lot more about the Russia-Ukraine war. Today I've described to you what's happening on the ground, because these developments are important, but the technology being used. The use of drones extensively has redefined warfare. The use of electromagnetic systems, the use of electronic warfare systems, and a host of new build, state-of-the-art weapon systems have really brought the attention of the world and military planners to this part of the world where this war has now been going on for more than 2 years. There are huge learnings for the Indian Armed Forces, particularly when it comes to drone warfare. I'm Vishnu Som. You've been watching this vlog. It's called Defending India. We look at some of the key developments in the region from a military standpoint, technology, and also developments in India. Do stay tuned. This has been episode 2. We've got a lot more coming up every week.